Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. Cory here, and I have a little bit of a different video for you today. So today I wanted to talk about alchemy guides or manifestation spirit guides, and that's pretty much because I was working with mine today, and I wanted to share with you what I do to work with him and kind of give you maybe a little activity that you guys might like to do with your alchemy guides. So to give you a little background, I should probably back up here. You're really like, what the hell is an alchemy guide? Let me explain. For those of you that do work with your spirit guides, we do walk around with a spiritual or energetic entourage most of the time. Those spirit guides could be in the form of folks who we've shared past lives with and have passed on, also animal form spirit guides, various forms. It was actually Michelle Amergy who I took a class with in 2013, I believe, locally here in San Diego, who sort of introduced me to the idea of spirit guides having specific jobs or purposes, why they're walking with you in this lifetime, why they decided to hang back and not incarnate, but instead walk a path with you and help support you with your goals, what it is you're trying to accomplish here in this lifetime, etc. And, each and every one of those spirit guides has a specific role to play based on their strengths and how they are helping you with what it is that you need to do during this lifetime. And so Michelle had introduced, I think, 4 different, types, really, or jobs, roles that, your guides could possibly take on while working and connecting with you. Since then, I've read books from Sonia Choquette, which also, she discusses roles or jobs that your guides may have in order to work with you, help you, accomplish things in this lifetime. But one of the roles that Michelle had introduced was an alchemy guide. So what is an alchemy guide? This is basically one of your spirit guides whose primary roles is to help you manifest things in your life, okay? To bring forth, what it is that you want to create in your life, okay? Through various forms of energy. Basically, they're there to make it happen. So give you an example, my alchemy guide is named Charlie, and Charlie helped me manifest this house. I worked with him pretty intensely on what my husband and I were looking for, what it was that we wanted to bring forth into fruition. And in working with him and working with another spirit guide, we manifested this house. It was the perfect house in the perfect location at the right time. Bam. It seemed like all the planets were in an alignment when this came about. But I know that it's because, working with Charlie, he helped, move energy about behind the scenes in order to bring this opportunity to the forefront, to our attention, so that we could jump on it. Now, does your alchemy guide do all of this stuff for you and just drop a house in front of you? No. And it's not necessarily how it works. But you can work with them, communicate with them, ask for help, as with any of your spirit guides, and they will help, push things energetically on the fringes so that you're more aware of the opportunities that come your way that fit the criteria of what it is that you're trying to create and manifest. And they sharpen your awareness and also, help bring these opportunities to the forefront, right? So that's essentially what he did for us to be able to get this house. Now, my husband and I obviously did all the work, you know, filled out the correct papers, etc., you know, put in the offer in order to get the house. But the opportunity came about with his help. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys as far as my work with Charlie over the last several years is an alchemy box or a manifestation box. And what that is it can be anything. It's just a box that you create and dedicate for use with manifestation work with your alchemy guide. Okay, so this is one that I made right after that class way back when, so it's a little beat up. Okay, I probably need to create a new box, but I was working with Charlie today and refilling it, so I thought, why not hop on this video and share with you guys what exactly this is and what I'm doing. So it's just a white box from Michael's that, you know, I covered in construction paper, repurposed. Alchemist Charlie's manifestation box. And it's like I said, it's nothing fancy, but you can decorate it however you choose. You can have a really nice ornate box. But really it's, you know, it doesn't have to be fancy, and yet it can be super fancy if you want it to be. Okay, it's really up to you and what you want to put into it. But the point is that the box is dedicated, okay, specifically to hold items that will help, you know, energetically pull in what it is that you're working with your guide. Okay, so for example, I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that I have in here with working with Charlie. Okay, so I line the bottom. You guys know that my word of the year is create, so I have a create stone that I put in here at the beginning of the year to work with him. I also, because there's quite a few things that we're working on with my online coven, we did sort of a goodbye 2018, hello 2019, as far as goals that we wanted to create in 2019, what we were releasing in 2018. Now, I did burn the papers that we, you know, that I filled out for releasing things in 2018, but the future things that I wanted to manifest for the year are all written down, and I folded it up and I've placed it in this box rather than placing it in my book of shadows, because Charlie's the one that I work with the most in order to make these things happen. Also specifically, I have a list. Could almost think of it as like a grocery list. This is something I do quite often, and it's also very important to revisit your list, okay? The last thing you want to do is dump things into this box and kind of forget about it for a year. Because just like with your working altar, you know, out of sight, out of mind, you want to continue to pour energy into it. So I put things into this box. I revisit them monthly. I set it in a sacred space inside my, you know, ritual room here, and just make sure that I'm constantly revisiting it and making sure that I'm pouring good energy into these things on a pretty consistent basis, that I am charging up this box. Okay, so on this list, I've written out 2 things that I really want to focus on working with Charlie to manifest this year. So I basically, you know, sit down in space, connect with him, meet with him on the astral plane in my astral temple, and just kind of say, hey, here's what I want to do. Now, how do we make this happen? And, you know, Charlie is a very interesting, most of my guides have very interesting personalities. Probably not what you would think of as far as, you know, an alchemist guide. He appears to me as a blonde, long-haired, very tan, you know, surfer beach bum. Somebody that you would see with a surfboard at 6 a.m. in a wetsuit walking down the beach of OB or PB, and just, you know, with a big old smile on his face, out in the sun, happy as can be. Like, that's Charlie. That's his energy. That's what he releases out. And he's just, you know, in conversations with him, whenever I work with him on the astral plane, he's like, yeah, whatever you want to do, that's cool. And it's amazing energy, and it gets me pumped. It's not going to get everybody pumped, but that's why he's my guide and not yours, right? So your guide could literally appear in, you know, whatever way, shape, or form. But the idea is that it's loving and very high energy magic that you're working with when you connect with your alchemy guide, because again, this is manifestation, right? This is what you want to manifest. So he and I came up with this list. I wrote it down, and it stays in the box until they come to fruition, at which point, you know, we'll connect again, meet up, trade out, and I'll write a new list. So also in here are some other items that have kind of stayed in here for various lengths of time, you know, based on what we're trying to do. We've got a yummy money sigil here from one of the Witch's Moon boxes. Also, two cards that are very, very important to me. These are tarot cards. We have the Magician, because that's the energy we're working with constantly, is magician energy, manifestation, personal power, creating, right? And then the next one mostly pertains to what it is that I want to accomplish for my business and just for myself personally, which is the Nine of Pentacles. And that is basically the energy of the self-made woman, right? Working really hard and reaping the benefits of that hard work. So in addition to that, I have a $5 bill in here to sort of bring in that money energy. Two crystals related to my matron and patron deities, and a cute little pregnancy goddess from Bridget's Grove. Every time I go through a pregnancy, she pops into this box to help really, you know, manifest a happy, healthy pregnancy. So yeah, she goes in there as well. And then, you know, sometimes things related to my personal relationships will pop in here. It really just depends on what it is that we're working on, but literally anything that you can think of that you want to work with your alchemy guide on goes right into this box. And so what I do is I gather my items. I will energetically clear them. I do that with a pendulum. You can do that with sound, smudge stick, your personal preferred way to energetically clear items. I'll put them in the box along with my lists, and then I'll close the lid and we'll charge up the box. And you can do this in a number of ways. You can use a pendulum. You can use light, you know, visualization, holding the box between your hands, visualizing the box being surrounded by light. And this is your energy along with your guide's energy as well. So inside my astral temple, Charlie and I will sit there in circle, hold the box between our hands, and both charge it up with the intention. And that's very, very important. You're charging it up with your intention to bring into this plane what it is that you've designed in your astral plane, right? So that's essentially what this box is. It's a link between the work that I do in my astral temple with Charlie as kind of an anchor, really, for the physical manifestation of that work to pop through into this world, right? It's a doorway. So that's my manifestation box. It's all set. It's been recharged. It's ready to go. And, you know, I'll keep revisiting it once a month, usually around this full moon time. just kind of, to continue to pour energy into it, visit it, lay my hands on it, and, show that these are still my intentions. And then once, like I said, the items start manifesting and I don't need it. Like, for example, once this little girl is birthed out into the world, my little pregnancy goddess will come out of this box. She'll get cleaned off energetically and then put where she belongs, put away. If she's ever needed again, which, this should be my last pregnancy, knock on wood. So that this will be like the last journey she takes in this box. Wow. That's kind of a surreal moment thinking about that right now. But, sometimes different tarot cards will change out. Any other items that you can think of to put in the box. You can put crystals in the box. You can put little drams of essential oil into the box. Anything that relates to the type of energy that you want to manifest. Dried herbs, dried flowers, candles even, especially if the color corresponds to the work that you want to do. Perfect. And then, like I said, the lists are kind of the most important thing. So even if you don't have a lot of items at your disposal to sort of represent things, one thing that you could do is sort of treat this box like a vision board where you can print off pictures on the internet of what it is you're trying to manifest. When we were trying to manifest this home, as I mentioned, I was working with Charlie on that. So I had pictures of different homes that were similar to what we were trying to manifest. I had written down locations, neighborhoods that we were looking at. I had printed off photos of houses that were roughly around the same size, just stating that this is the size home that we're looking for, not this exact home, but these features, and then I wrote down on my list to Charlie all of the things that we were looking for. We wanted a backyard. We wanted enough room for the kids to grow and thrive. We wanted it in this type of neighborhood. We wanted it in these school districts. And then laid all of that out, put it in the box, and lo and behold, now we have this beautiful home. So those are the type of things that you can put in the box as well. Don't think that you have to limit it to just, oh, well, I don't have a ton of crystals or a ton of herbs to stick in here or a $5 bill. That's okay. You can just print pictures out online of what it is that you want to work with. The important part of this box is your intention, and then communicating with your alchemist guide on what it is that you want to bring to fruition. Now, if you've never worked with spirit guides before, there are a lot of great meditations online. Ethony over at the Tarot Readers Academy has a great spirit guide meditation in her Tarot Readers Academy that I believe is still available, that you can go check out, go through that guided meditation. To meet one of your guides, you can set the intention before you go through that meditation that it's your alchemy guide that you want to connect with and ask that they step forward. So if you aren't already working with them, 2019 is a great year to start working with your alchemy guide. And as I said, there's other types of roles that your spirit guides take on. Healer roles, mastery roles, drawing a blank at the moment because I'm having baby brain. Sorry, guys. I had already mentioned healer roles, but I have a divination guide who is a spirit guide specifically there to help me with my divination practice, both personally and professionally, as well as wisdom guides who are there to help you learn and absorb lessons that you have to learn in this incarnation, in this lifetime. So many different roles that your guides can take on. Like I said, spiritual entourage. You are not alone. And one of those guides is an alchemy or manifestation guide. So if you aren't already working with them, I highly recommend you do so. Like I said, lots of meditations online, several of them on YouTube. Ethony's is a really great one. I've gone through it. It's a pretty powerful one, and you can use it over and over again to meet several of your other guides as well. So don't think you're just limited to a one-time use with any of these meditations. But that's it. I wanted to pop on here, share with you guys this manifestation box in the hopes that, you know, it'll be an interesting tool for you guys to use. Now, if you do work with a manifestation box already, hit me up in the comments. Like, let everybody else know what you use it for, if it's been successful for you, if you've had really great luck with it, or what your experiences have been so far, because I think everybody would be interested to hear from you as well. And if you do end up creating one after this video, let me know how it goes. Okay? It's always wonderful to connect with you guys, and I hope that I can share more videos like this over 2019. Since I mentioned my word of the year is create, I want to share more quick videos like this with you guys, where I just go over something really easy that you can create and use in your own spiritual practice. So if there's anything that you guys want to see, also leave that in the comments below so I can pop on and do a quick video. All right, love bugs, I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, blessed be.